Okie dokie. Welcome in, people. I'm just going to invite Lyndy. Come through. Take a seat. Get comfortable. We are about to start the intuitive hour. Just give it a few moments. Let some people join. So for those of you that are new here, my name is Jen. I am a psychic, medium, intuitive energy healer, reader, and an alignment and empowerment coach and fucking vibe. So welcome in, and I cannot wait to get tonight started. Hey Lyndy, I see you there in the chat. I will bring you up in just a moment. If we can share the live out, guys, and get as many people in as we can so there can be this amazing experience. So we have the creator of the Get Fucking Motivated Oracle and the Fucking Honest Oracle cards on live with us tonight. She's going, oh my god, we've had chats before and I just absolutely love this woman's vibe. I love her cards. I honestly feel like she channeled them with me in mind somehow, because they feel like me. So I really love using them, and I know you guys absolutely love them too. So I'm going to invite Lyndy up and we'll get started. Hey everyone. I have to change this button again. I've got to change the setting. There we go. That's better.
Hello, am I here?
You are, but your camera's not on.
Oh, for fuck's sake, hang on, give me a moment. There we go. There I am. Hi, everybody. How are you?
I can't see you.
Oh, really? I'm looking at me. Why am I? Is that better?
That's better. Oh, you got a haircut.
Yeah, I did. I set fire to it accidentally. I had to cut it off. For real.
That's the story.
Oh I know, God. Right?
Thank you so much, Lyndy, for coming on again for the Intuitive Hour. So I've got quite a lot of new followers and they absolutely love your cards. I always say, whenever I'm reading these cards, fair warning, they slap like a bitch, but they're going to tell you exactly what you need.
They really do.
99% of the time, apart from those little trolls that come in and say we're full of shit, which we know we're not, they are like, oh my god, that just bang on, that's spooky. So they're fun, they're vibrant, and they're on fucking point. So first of all, thank you for creating them.
Oh, thanks, gorgeous. My pleasure.
Okay, so what we do tonight, guys, is with the Intuitive Hour, if you're new here, the way things work is I've got some questions to go through with Lyndy, and she's going to dive deep into her story, tell us where she's come from, how she became a psychic medium, what she does, and all the juicy stuff in between. And then we have a platform for you guys to ask questions. So if you do have questions or you want to engage, you can throughout the chat, but throughout the call, but we usually leave the questions to the end. So after that, then we might pull some fucking motivated cards, see how we go.
Yeah, sounds absolutely good.
Awesome. All right, so Lyndy, what is your story? Tell us a bit about you and what you do.
Well, I'm a psychic medium, obviously, but I think probably the thing that put me off getting started really doing this stuff, which I've been doing now for probably, I think it's about 12 years I've been doing this full time. Before that, I was dabbling and playing, but it took me a really long time to come out of the closet and kind of announce to the world, this is what I do, because everyone else that I knew that did it, and it was my experience of what other people did, they were all really fucking mystical and they were organic and they wore the things and they'd been to fucking Peru and all the shit. And I was like, well, I'm pretty sure I'm talking to dead people. And I don't think I'm qualified because there was no one like me doing this. So I've changed that. There's a lot of people like me doing this now, which is fabulous. And I really think that I guess probably the thing I love most about doing this cyclic intuitive work and teaching others, because I mentor as well, is helping people understand that they don't have to be something else to do this work. So you don't have to pretend to be something that you're not, just fucking be you. And that's why, I created the Oracle card decks because everything else again was really fluffy and over the top, and I just wanted straight to the fucking point. I wanted it to be something that, the tradie down the street could use, or you could give it to your auntie at Christmas as a laugh, but also give you that genuine intuitive insight that you need, just without the fluff and bullshit, just with the fucking kick in the ass that you probably need.
Yeah, and that's one of the things that I actually love about these cards. Like when you pull them, I love the one that says "fuck off" because people are like, "Excuse me, did you just say that?" I was like, "Yeah, but you got to tell that to your past excuses." Because and then it flips it. It's like smack them, but then give them a hug. And I
Yeah.
absolutely love that because that's also the way that I coach. So it's
Yeah.
definitely on point.
Yeah, and I think that the truth and the honesty in them is vital. Like, why sugarcoat a turd? If it's a turd, it's a fucking turd. Tell people, and then what are we going to do about it? We're going to clean that shit up, literally. So, there's no. I just think that they're just easy. I just want this stuff to be easy. I want everybody to be able to access it. That's the key.
100%. So what else? So tell us about how you started.
So starting out, I was getting probably like a lot of people who are watching us this now, because I really do believe that everybody is intuitive. I really believe that. But it's just whether you kind of step up and start understanding that for yourself. So I did a lot of courses and classes at community houses, and I went and got readings done, and I had healings and all that sort of thing, and just picked up little bits and pieces along the way. But I was doing this before the internet was a thing, so it wasn't like you could just Google something or jump on something like this and see how people dabble in this world, or what other people's perspectives and stuff are. So it was a little bit more difficult. Not that I'm complaining about that. That was just my experience. So, but I caught up with lots of people who were fabulous teachers, and some were fucking awful. But I think there was value in the ones that were awful as well, because I mean, ooh, I'm not doing it like that. And
Mm,
that's been great as well. So I think we really have to honour all the experiences that we have in life in all the things. But I'm very, very grateful for all the things I've learned along the way, because I get to share them now when I'm mentoring or when I'm doing one-on-one sessions with clients. And I think that, I don't know, there's just so much beautiful connection for all of us with all of this energy work.
yeah, 100%. I think too, it's a way for us to connect on a different level. Like now, I know it was a good way to do that back in the past too, but now I feel like the exciting part about it is now we get to, read for people halfway across the world.
Yeah,
That's
isn't it
probably,
ace?
yeah, it's
Yeah, there's no
amazing.
limits. There's absolutely no limits, but we limit ourselves a lot. And I think that's where, the get fucking motivated deck come in, and the fucking honest deck, and even the crude creatures. Like, just eliminate those bullshit excuses.
Yeah, 100%. So, how and when did you first discover your abilities and your gifts? Like, what reaction did you have to them? Like, what was the story that kind of that pivotal moment that like, ooh, I've actually, this is
This is something
developing.
not to be ignored. Yes.
Mm,
Yeah, well, I was always a huge empath. When I was a little kid, I was a massive empath, and I recognize that now. I thought I just cried a lot, and that's what I got told when I was little as well, because I'm Gen X, so don't fucking cry. But I cried a lot because I was picking up on everybody else's shit. But then there was a point when I must have been like 18 or 19, and driving my car on a road that I was quite familiar with. And and I would always, the minute that I started driving, whether I was on L plates at 17, or driving on my own at 18, I would always miss animals. I would always get just a feeling that I needed to slow down. I'd come around the corner and boom, there'd be a possum or a wombat or a wallaby in the middle of the road, because, Australia bush. Um, and I was always very great. I'd always go, oh, that was lucky, thank you. So I always was aware of being like lucky like that, lucky, but I would always say thank you. I always felt the gratitude that I didn't injure anything in my driving career. And I drove like a fucking maniac. Don't tell anyone. So that was always awesome. But then I had an instance on the road where I very, very clearly got the message to stop. It wasn't a slow down message, it was a stop, 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 fucking stop. And so I did, which was weird, because I was on this windy road in the dark, and I went, this is fucking stupid. No, it wasn't the dark, sorry, it was daytime. Anyway, so I did. I stopped, waiting, thinking that, there must be something bouncing down the road towards me or something. And a car came around a blind corner on my side of the road. I went, oh, fuck, again, that was lucky. Thank you. That's appreciated. Went to take off, and I got the message even louder. And I was really arguing with myself, going, no, the car gone. What's the problem? And a four-wheel drive had been chasing that first car, down this windy road, down Mountain Highway, for anybody who knows that road, and they came around the corner sideways. So had I hit the first one, would have been terrible. Had that second one collected both of us, we all of us would have been fucked because this thing was flying. So that was when I really got, and I still telling the story get full body tingles with that. And that was when I kind of burst into tears and went, I've got to do something with this. Like that was no coincidence. There's not two instances in a row where you get a message and you listen. I've got to follow this up. I've got to do something. So that's where I really started seeking out people to teach me how to manage, I guess, what I was doing.
Yeah. Because how when that message came through, did you hear it? Was it audible? Was it
It was
audible or was it?
yeah, it was audio. Yeah, it was an audio. What do they call it? Clear audience. Yeah, so I heard it, but it's a really weird thing. So I think that people that aren't quite sure how all this works thinks that when there's that audible message that it's like a booming voice from outside, but it's something kind of, well, for me anyway, it's kind of in my head. So
Mm,
trying to explain that to someone else, they were like, "What was the voice? Who was it? What, and you're like, I just knew that I heard that voice. Did I actually hear it in my ears? I don't think so. I think I heard it in my brain somewhere. Like it's very difficult to explain.
yeah.
But it was a great one because it wasn't very fucking subtle. Often a lot of the messages that we get are very subtle and hard to pick up and you've got to interpret. And usually after the event you go, oh, is that what that was? But in this case, it was so fucking blatant that I couldn't possibly miss it. But it had to be that way. If it had been any other way, I'd probably be dead.
Yeah. Well, thank God for Spirit dropping that in then.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yeah, I still am thankful for that.
Sorry, my dog is pacing up and down and it's giving me anxiety. Stop it, buddy. It's annoying.
The
Sit down.
I love when the pets get involved in these sort of sessions. I love it.
Any other time, I swear to God, any other time I put the camera on him, he's like this. I don't want to look. I can't look. I already walked away. Every time I'm doing a live, he's out in the background. I was doing a video one time for one of my challenges, and I was literally halfway through. I was on a roll. I'm doing all this stuff, and then next minute he starts cocking his leg and pissing. So I had to stop, wait till he finished, and cut that out. So in the video, you see me talking, and you see him walking along the back, and then all of a sudden he just disappears and comes out from the tree. So magic.
They're so classy, I know.
Dog disappeared. What the hell?
Love it.
So when you started to kind of step into that, how did your family react? Did they?
Oh, nah, I didn't tell my family. My family are massive atheists. And I remember very clearly when I was very little, I was very early years of primary school. I said something that we had this beautiful old church at the top of our road. And I said something to my mum along the lines of, I want to have a look in there. I wonder what it's like. And she was like, you step foot in that church, you're not living at home anymore. And I was like, fuck, I'm eight. How's that going to work out for me? So I was actually scared of religion because my mum was so fucking anti-religion, um, which is a historical thing for her that obviously I was unaware of at the time. But so even now, I don't think she believes that I do what I do. Like she doesn't understand at all. The fact that I've got a physical deck of cards is helpful, or multiple decks now, but it's helpful, but she doesn't really get it and she's never going to. So it's not something I discuss with family very often. My own family now, my husband and my kids, they all just take the piss out of me. They think it's, they just say to me, "Oh, you're going to talk to dead people now?" Or so they
My
definitely keep your feet on the ground, let me tell you.
Yeah, my dad. I get my humor from my dad. He's witty, and we're talking dad jokes. My dad is the epitome of dad jokes, and he says stuff like, when I say, "How you going, Dad?" He goes, "Well, you should know." And I'm like, "You fucking little smart ass! Like, really? Did you really just say that?" Or like, just really
Yeah.
on point too. And it's he's
But
that
I
kind of
think
guy.
it's a really good point because I think that people expect that because we've got businesses, because we're doing this in the public eye, so to speak. I think people think that there's an assumption that they've got all the support in the world and that there's all that. No, absolutely not. Like you can do this without all the support of the people around you. If you want to do this, you can. You just need to do it your way and plow on. It doesn't affect anybody else. You helping other people, it doesn't have to impact the people immediately close to you.
Yes, 100%. And the reality is, not everyone's gonna agree with what you do, and
Oh,
and
yeah.
hey, that's their journey.
Yep.
but don't let it deter you, because if it's something that you love and something that is helping people and making a difference, then why the fuck would you stop it?
Yeah,
Right?
exactly. Even getting readings, same. Like if you know people are going to be shitty about it, don't fucking tell them. It's not their life, it's yours, babe.
Yeah. And so when you decided to create an actual business, how was your husband was quite supportive?
No.
No.
No, but I kind of stepped in a little bit sideways, which I think is not a bad way to do this, where I was running my muggle job. I was a medical receptionist at the time. And I'd done my whole sort of working career, if you like, in the Muggle world was it was admin kind of officey work, and I had deliberately chosen a job that was part-time hours so that I could do this stuff on the side because I had been doing it on weekends and it was getting busier and busier. And then I was able to have a day or two a week I could do it as well. And then it got to the point where I said to my husband, I remember very clearly because it was Mother's Day, so I said to him, I think I'm going to give up my part-time job and just do my woo-woo work, which is what I called it. And he went, oh, righto, if you reckon we can afford it. Because he had no idea that I was actually making money doing this stuff because I was being paid cash from it at the time. And it was buying the groceries. It was, getting buying the kids' shoes. It was paying for this and letting us go there. And so the money, I didn't really I guess probably something that I would correct if I went back in time was to run it as a proper business from the get go, even when I was earning really small amounts of money, because then it would have felt legit. Like it felt like just a hobby on the side for a long time. But I was actually doing really well from it, and I was making double what I was making doing the part time muggle work. But it was a safety net, so it gave me the confidence to do this because I doubted myself every fucking reading at the beginning, and when I say the beginning, like the first 5 years, I would doubt that I would be like, oh fuck, no way, Spirit's going to show up today. I'm going to get no messages. Nothing's going to happen. They're going to, everyone's going to know that this is not working, or I'm not anything, or I'm not special, or whatever. And I'd have all this bullshit running through my head. It was only after I'd been doing it for a really long time that I went, why am I fucking up my energy with this? I'm slowing myself down with this bullshit beliefs. And I just eliminated them, and everything flourished from that point on. But it was a long, hard battle with self doubt before I got this beautiful flow with my business.
Yeah. I love that you mentioned that, because so many people, when they first step into wanting to be a reader or wanting to do cards or wanting to look into mediumship and speaking with spirit, they struggle with this, because it's like,
Mm.
oh, especially when you get the, no, that's not right, that doesn't sound like it's for me, no, I don't have that, no. When the sitter is responding and saying these types of things, you do kind of get like, even now sometimes with me I start thinking, oh, have I got the right connection, you
Yeah,
know. Sometimes, and the more you do it, and you push on through and you trust yourself, the more you lean into that trust, you find more and more times that people come back and go, oh, you remember how you said that and I didn't know what it was, actually it's connected to this and this, you know.
yeah, yeah.
And just really trusting yourself. And to be
And that's
honest,
really fucking hard.
yeah. And I think when you're first starting out, it's literally like trying to play charades with spirit. When you're
Yeah,
trying to work out what your symbols are, trying to work out what energy is what. And
yeah,
it just takes practice. And if it's something that you love and something that you really want to step into, just don't fucking give up, because
yeah.
consistency is key. And the more you do it, the stronger you get.
Yeah, absolutely. I completely agree with that. And you're right. It's like I say to people, it's like trying to work out mime underwater. Like it's really difficult at the start until you work out the way you interpret it. And that's why I really encourage people all the time to learn from multiple sources, because there's going to be stuff that they'll learn from you that they won't learn from me. There'll be perspective they'll get from me that they won't learn from you. And you could do that with a whole lot of different people. It doesn't mean you have to collect every fucking certificate that there is, but going and experiencing different readings yourself, or having different mentors, or different, like you don't have to spend a shitload of money on this, but you do need to work out what your language is, and that finding that trust in yourself and the trust in the connection between you and spirit. The word trust gets thrown around a lot, but I think it's actually far more fucking difficult to eliminate the self-doubt to be able to have that. And that's where I think there's, when you've got that, you kind of laugh and you're it's home and hosed.
Yeah, 100%. So when we talk about receiving messages
Mhm.
and sensing energies and using your clairs, I know as a psychic medium we use all of them. But which one do you feel comes through stronger, like, or majority of the time? Do you kind of like, is there a process? Do you feel first? Do you hear? Do you see? What do you feel like you lean
Yeah, it's
towards?
probably a good question. I don't think there's anything in particular for me. Probably, I'm quite. It just depends on who I'm reading for and how they're going to receive the message the best, I think, because I definitely feel like I'll get the emotional feelings. I'll feel people touch me. I'll have aches and pains in my body. So the three kind of feeling ones, I definitely get. I get all of them, but they come through really strongly. The knowing often can be the thing where it's like, oh, I just feel like this is the. I know I say I feel like, even though it's a thing that I kind of, because when you say knowing, it's sort of like I know that this is the thing, and there's always blurry edges around it. Visuals are really clear, but they're not what people would expect. I think I often get shown like cartoons or my own past experience that is relevant in this case, or I get shown the person doing something, but it's a little flash of an image. They're just little snippety bits that you've got to kind of go, oh fuck, what was that? And so if you have a one-on-one session with me, often I'm not looking at you. I'm often kind of looking, and I think a lot of people do this, where they're kind of looking around because you're trying to almost disengage your eyeballs to be able to get to the image that just flashed up in the back of your fucking head. So it's yeah, it's a complicated thing, but I hear things as well. I get told things. So I honestly don't think that there's one that is a standout for me. It very much depends on each individual reading.
Yeah. I'm exactly the same, and I love how you interpreted the fact that it's so hard to interpret. I'm gonna say, when you're seeing, hearing in your mind, and like, because I know exactly what you meant, because I remember walking through the shops one day, and I clearly heard a thought. I heard a thought,
Yeah.
and it was not me. I know that this was not me because it was a male, and I could hear it as clear as day. It was almost like I actually physically heard it, but it was in my mind. And that's
Yeah.
really saying that. It's like that just doesn't make sense.
No,
But
it doesn't. And it's a bit, and at the beginning, it's a bit disconcerting. You're a bit like, well, fuck, what do I do with that? So it takes a little bit of interpretation.
yeah, 100%. But yeah, on point. All right. So when we come to your biggest lessons on this journey so far, what do you think
Ooh.
you would say that they've been?
Oh, do you know what? That's a doozy because there's so many things that I've learned. And I guess probably my favorite or the one that has touched my heart and impacted me the most is probably that everybody's been through something. Most people are doing their very fucking best given their circumstances, and we have no clear perspective of what that is. And I have done readings before where, unbeknownst to me, there's been two people who were arguing or fighting about something. And I've done readings for them individually, but those perspectives are seen so differently, so differently. But the outcome is the same amount of heartbreak. And that's a really interesting way to look at things is that if people are want to distance themselves or, unkind or change their perspective on you, the way they interact with you or whatever. It's the cliche thing, like it's not you, it's them, but it very well may be fucking them. Like it very well may be that what you are doing is triggering them in some way. It's not really that they suddenly hate your guts. It's just that they hate what you're reflecting back to them and they don't want to deal with it, so they won't. So there's a lot of cases I get with people, um, feeling abandoned or friendships changing or relationships within the family changing. And I've experienced it myself, and it's not a that's kind of it's not absolving yourself of responsibility in anything, but it's recognizing that sometimes you just got to let shit go. And God, it's freeing. It's so fucking freeing. So, you don't necessarily write people off, but you have a nicer understanding of why they might have behaved the way they've done it, and you can kind of move forward without the grief.
Yeah. I feel like it's that that even if it can be the person that you absolutely cannot stand, if you're able to find just a tiny speck of compassion, it makes it easier to deal with. It makes it
Yeah.
easier to accept.
Yeah, and there's always a need for compassion. We're all fucking broken children. That's what we all are, genuinely. You know, there's always stuff that we've got unresolved that we're trying to work through and trying to fix and trying to be our best. And I actually get really, um, I get really not sad for, but I really feel for the people that are stuck, that just flatly refuse to try anything new and you know, can't make a decision and won't change their lives and won't take a step forward. The people that are stepping forward and fucking up, fucking high five. You're giving it a go. Yeah, you know, the ones that aren't moving at all go, you're wasting time. Come on, do something.
I get like that too. Sometimes when I'm whether it be a reading or whether it be like a coaching session, it's like I just want to grab them and shake them and be like, "Here, just borrow my head, feel what's happening, see what you need to do, and then give it back, and then go on and do it."
Yeah. Isn't it great in those circumstances, though, that often you can say something that people have heard 15 times and you can just deliver it in the right way at the right moment, and boom, people's lives light up. And I fucking love that. I love being able to really help and encourage people forward. That's my absolute favorite thing to do is you know, helping people stay on track with their energy and their vibrancy, but also, you know, step forward with confidence and be the full version of themselves. Everybody's fucking awesome. You just got to learn to shine it.
Yes, and I call it my crack. That's my crack. That's my those aha moments. Those aha moments. Those holy shit! I get it now. I'm gonna use this in my life, and they take it and they do it, and the
Yeah.
result that they get from that, that
Oh,
is
I love it.
that. That's my
Yeah.
crack.
Yeah.
Oh, I love
It's
it.
awesome.
All right, what else have we got here? So biggest lesson that's far. Cool, unreal stories, spook, whether they be spooky, whether they be out of this world, whether they be something that you just it sticks in your mind when anybody says tell us a story about what you do, and that's your go-to story, whatever you want to share.
Ooh, there's so many creepy moments. Like I say to people when they have a reading with me, I say, I'm going to know shit about you that I shouldn't. This shit is creepy because it is. So, like every fucking day, I have moments where I go, I should not have known that. I couldn't possibly have known that, but I do. And it's not that I know it. It's just the information comes from whatever the fuck you believe in. I deliver it, and I always go, "Oh, thanks for making me look clever," because it's fuck all to do with me. Um, I guess probably there's been so many instances where that you know where you step in at the right moment because you know where this shit's going. And I think it's probably again, it's not necessarily because I'm psychic, but I think that willingness to stop something from happening or stand up. And I think that having this spiritual connection helps me have that confidence. So I was in CFA, which is the volunteer firefighting force, whatever, in Victoria for a long time. And there was so many that one of the ones that sticks out in my head is when we got this new bit of equipment that was called the thermal imaging camera. We called it the tip. And it you could see that there was it would tell you the heat of something. So you put the fire out, check it with this camera thing, and then off you go. And the temperature was really low, and something just tapped me on the shoulder and went, nah, check that again. And I went back and it was just up a couple of degrees. And I told someone and they went, oh no, but it's still really low. Don't worry about it. And I really got this clear message like, no, check that fucking thing because the child that lived in the house, it was an out building that had caught fire. But when they called it in, the parent had said, I've got a very autistic child and I cannot get them out of the house. And please approach the house without sirens. Like it was a very kind of potentially volatile situation. So anyway, long story short, turns out this thing was still fucking on fire. We just hadn't. It just sometimes fires do that. They just kind of kick off, and it was coming back to being on fire from like 30 degrees, which is fuck all. But anyway, intuitively just went, nah, this thing ain't done. And I was right. And so it prevented this poor family going through the trauma of going, get the fucking fire trucks back here. We'll try and placate him. We'll medicate him or whatever. Like it just stopped that situation. So that's one that, but again, like it was one that I didn't, you know, bang around the bloody fireground going, I picked it. And, you know, the spirits told me. I just quietly put the thing back in the box and we went home. You know? But I really was so grateful at the pressure it took off that family, that because sometimes you do get called back because something's really caught fire. So yeah, that's one that just pops to mind in this instance. But God, there's so many, and I fucking love it. I still get lit up every time. It's not like I go, oh God, spirit told me something again. I still get really fucking excited about things.
Yeah. I think for me, it's the I love the interactions with spirit when they come through, like especially when you're connecting on a mediumship level, and it's like they come through and they bring their personality.
Yeah,
And I remember connecting with one lady, and she's like, I've never been able to connect with my dad. And when I started talking to her father, because he came through, sorry, he came through, she was like, that's exactly the way what he would have said. That was exactly, it was almost like the vibe that was there that I was talking about. It was like I was explaining him as if he was standing right beside us. Well, literally
yeah,
it felt like he was. And to see and feel that unbelievable, amazing love feeling that people know that one, that the loved ones are safe and happy and there, and that it's,
yeah.
they will get to be and see them again. That for me is just amazing when you're able to connect in like a so deeply.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, fuck,
We're
we are
very lucky, aren't we? We are so fun. I'm so grateful that we do this work. I love it.
amazing, honestly. So, who, if you were to look at the woo woo world, or self development or anything, what was your go to? What's your favorite book? Who's your go to author? Do you
Oh, look, I'm
have
fucking
one, or
hopeless.
is
I
there a
don't read the
topic?
books. Yeah, I really don't read the books. I just because I get not because I'm a snob about it, but I just find that I start overthinking shit. So I really have not, I can't even think of, but I love self-development generally. So I did like what was his name? Fucking weirdo, but I got a lot out of it. Is it John DiMartino? He's probably dead now. He's very old. It was a long time ago. John, well, I think that was his name anyway. Like that sort of thing, just for the self-confidence. That was my big takeaway, was the self-confidence for life generally. And it just linked always to trust yourself, trust your spirit, trust yourself. And I love all of that. So, but books specifically, I did just recently read The Magic. Confirmation bill, thank you. But I can't remember who wrote that. I know it was an Aussie lady. Um,
Rhonda Byrne.
Thank you. That's it. The Magic. I really enjoyed that. There were some weird bits in it, but that was really good. But that's the only one that comes to mind right now. But I think only that's my style of learning. So now, thank you TikTok for diagnosing me with ADHD. It's just not how I learn. Like I could learn from books at school if I had to, but it was hands-on learning that was my thing. That's why I would go to the community classes or have a one-on-one session with someone, because that's where I learnt the most. So it's just the way I work. But there's lots of really great books out there. In fact, I'm in the middle of writing a book. So it's,
What?
I know. So yeah, so there's definitely value in it. Don't worry, it'll be written my way. But so don't buy it unless you're okay with swear words. But there's not a lot of the books that I've read, to be honest, on the woo woo things, because there was a couple I was given early on, and it was too I'm quite judgy, and I found them to like kind of force the information down your throat. I was so not up for that, that it was their way or the highway, and that preachy kind of, I know how this works, let me tell you. And I just would get pissed off with it and not be able to, get more than a couple chapters in. So there's nothing, yeah. Whereas if it's on a platter and I can just choose and pick and the bits that I want, then that's how I roll.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
Love, love, love it. What's your favorite thing about what you do? What about the
Oh,
whole
helping people, 100% helping people. That's my favorite thing. There's lots of ways you can do that, obviously, in our line of work, but I guess probably building other people's self-confidence is a huge one. But also when people have really got the wobbles up, when their energy has hit the fucking deck for whatever reason, being able to build them back up and let them fucking function. Because I've been in that position myself where you just feel like you don't line up with anything, nothing's balanced, nothing feels good. Where am I going? You just feel lost and stuck. Being able to help people kind of put them back on their feet and give them a momentum to go, this is the direction you're heading, go and explore, in their life. So they can, have the confidence to do what they're going to do and thrive in their own life. I hate seeing people that are just shells of themselves. Like, I just find that so sad. Like, we get one version of this life, how you are right now. Fucking love that shit. Utilize it. I don't give a fuck what shape you are, what job you've got, who your family is. Just live your best fucking life as much as you can in this format, because this is it, mate. And you never know. Even being a fucking psychic, I don't know when I'm going to drop dead. I'm going to make the fucking most of what I've got.
Right?
Yeah.
100%. It's now. Now is the time. It's
Yeah.
not waiting till I know enough. It's not waiting until I get enough money. It's not wait. Just do it. Just find a way to find the things that you love. If it's psychic readings, do it. If it's tapping into
Yeah.
learning how to speak with spirit, do it. If it's learning how to play the
If it's
fucking guitar, do it.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I really have a hankering to learn how to crochet penises. I think that would be hilarious. Haven't done it yet. Got to find a tutor, but that's on my list. I'll do that at some point.
Oh,
Just so I
Willy
can
boy.
make really little ones and leave them around places. I reckon that would be fucking hilarious. I'm all for a laugh.
I could just imagine your husband walking around. Lyndy, can you get your balls out of the?
I know, right? We moved recently for the purpose of going traveling. We bought a caravan and stuff. And I got a download one time about leaving a card just in random little country towns on people's windscreens. Like, can you imagine leaving a get fucking motivated card
Oh,
just on someone's windscreen and then driving away to the next? I reckon,
especially the
I
one.
don't know. I know I would
With
have to be a little bit careful probably, but I don't know. Or you just be outrageous and do whatever.
just imagine the one that says "fuck off."
Getting that out of context.
Oh
Oh,
my god.
Jesus.
So, what would be your advice for someone who's wanting to embark on a journey of whether it's being the spiritual awake, use your words, Jen, spiritual awakening, or whether it's tapping into, because you don't have to tap in and become a psychic medium,
No.
right? You can literally just use it for anything, whether it's your
Yeah.
job, whether
Yep.
it's your, just your life in general. You just
Mm.
trusting yourself. What would
Absolutely.
you?
I was using my intuition with my work for far longer than I realized when I was back doing muggle work, because I would be some of the jobs I had was like there was admin, but they were small companies, so you do the fucking all the admin, so stock coming in, stock going out, paying the bills, blah 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 blah. And I would always, always, always just get a bit of a, which I was not recognizing as what it was, but I would get a bit of a tap on the shoulder about just double check that number, or is that signed? Or, I'd go to put a bit of paper down and it would literally stick to my hand, or I would just get, nah, nah, check that, double check that. And I'd look and go, oh, yeah, fuck, those numbers are transposed. That would have fucked things up. Like all of those little things. So notice that. That is your intuition. So, and again, you don't have to do readings, you don't have to do healings, you don't have to do mediumship, you don't do any of this shit. But if you can utilize your intuition for yourself, one of the hard things though with that, I will put a little disclaimer on that for you, is that doing a reading for yourself is really the fucking hardest thing you can do. I get bits and pieces about what's coming up and I listen to my intuition very closely. But I go and get readings because I am so, if something pops in that I'm not sure of, I'm so fucking invested in it that I have it here going, oh, what's this? What's this? And you don't have that clearer perspective to go, oh, wait a minute, it's this, it's that, So for there's little things that you can like you go to the car and you get reminded by spirit that you're out of fucking milk and you didn't know you're out of milk, but now you know now. So, all of those little things, pay attention to those, but don't hate on yourself if you go, damn it, I didn't know what, my pay rise was going to be, or I didn't know this, that I needed to get another job or whatever. It just is like the big things are difficult, but listen to all the little things because they add up and they make a real fucking difference. But remember your gratitude, 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 gratitude cannot recommend that highly enough for expanding what you already can do.
best advice ever. I
Thanks.
love it. So wait, can we just rewind a little bit? Because I got
Yeah.
really like butterflies in my stomach, excited when you said you were writing a book.
I'm writing a book. So, and in typical Lyndy style, um, fuck knows when it'll come out. It'll be, I've just in the last couple of days got really committed to writing it. But it is exactly that my theory on, and again, my theory, and one of the very first chapters says run this shit through your own filter because that is absolutely my rule. But it is about empowering people to do shit their way, to do all the woo woo things their way. So, giving examples that I've had in my life and the way that I use it, but also giving people, I guess, permission, which nobody needs fucking permission for me for anything. But sometimes I think in this world, you kind of need someone to be your advocate, to go, you know what, you fucking do it your way because you are amazing. You can get this shit done. Go and do it and utilize it for the benefit of yourself and others, without needing a fucking stamp or a certificate or all the bullshit. Because there are other people that go, oh no, that's not how you do it. That's not, there's a lot of people that do that. And they fucking shit me to tears. Like, sure, that's not how you do it, babe. You fucking stay in your own lane. I'm in mine doing it my way. So I think as long as you're not telling people to go off their fucking chemo or, illogical bullshit, if your pure intention is to help people, why the fuck would you not? You help people. That's what we're here for.
100, 100,
Yeah.
100%.
So the book's
God.
going to be all about that.
Oh, I love that. And do we have a
Yeah.
time frame or are we still
Oh
writing?
no, God no, I don't know. ADHD, mate. Could be next week, could be next year. I don't know.
I also love that you were like, thanks TikTok for diagnosing me, because I literally sat here and I went down a rabbit hole and I'm like, holy fuck, I think I actually have it. I, and
There's definitely a
and
quarter of a cup of it in me, no doubt about that.
honestly, I spun the fuck out. I mean that and being a manifesting generator too. Do you know your human design?
Ooh. Yes, I'm a generator.
I'm
Yes.
I'm a manifesting generator, so
Yeah.
that's
But
why I
this
like
is
to.
the thing, right? I fucking love human design. Cannot learn it. Have no interest in learning it, but I love hearing other people talk about it.
Yeah.
Too many rules. Same as tarot. Proper tarot cards. Fucking love a tarot reading. Can't do it. Save my life. Too many fucking rules. I'm getting better, kinda, but I'm not. I'm not that invested in the rules. So again, which is why I did oracle cards. I did toy with the idea once of writing a tarot deck, and then I went, "Why the fuck would I do that? That's a lot of cards, and I'm not connected to the rules of how they work. So fuck it.
Yeah.
Maybe one day, but probably not."
I've only got a couple of tarot decks. I don't read tarot like traditional tarot.
Mm.
Um, I just like them for the pretty pictures, and I interpret based off what pictures are telling
Oh,
me.
yeah,
Because
exactly. Although I've got to say, this one just happens to be here. I do love this one. I don't know if anybody's got this one. I got this from Metaphysical Launceston down in Tassie, and it's called Soul Divinity Tarot. This is a really, like, this is not an old deck. This is a reprint, obviously, but it's been around for a long time. And I actually kind of like this one, but it creeps me out in a good way. So that's the only one that I kind of use as a proper tarot deck. All the others I just use as oracle cards.
have you ever used Lenormand cards?
No, don't know those.
My God, they are crazy. I've got a deck, and the way that I came across that deck blows my fucking mind. It was actually a deck that a lady used to use when before I stepped into my awesomeness, and I was
Yeah,
only just a baby awesome before.
yeah.
I used to go and get these readings done, and this I remember this chick just used to have these cards, and they almost looked like sepia kind of um when you do the negatives
Oh,
of
yeah, yeah, yep. Yep, I know what
they
you
look
mean.
like that, and I remember thinking, oh, it's eye catching. Anyway, when I started really, really, really becoming a deck whore, because I know I am, I'm a deck whore. I like a deckaholic.
Same,
Um,
same.
I'm meaning cards, guys. I'm not a Kiwi saying a different word. Okay, just get that straight. But
Well, big love to the Kiwis.
um,
I love their big
when I
decks.
got these, when I got these cards, I remember I stayed up all night. I was like, I'm not gonna fucking find these cards. One, I don't know what they're called, and two, it was like 10, 15 years ago that the last time I got this reading done, and I don't even have a clue. So I was like, hey, needle in a haystack. It's not going to be able to be found. So the very next day was my husband's birthday, and I was like, he's like, oh, can you go get me the chicken sticks from down the shop and we'll cook them? I was like, all right. And whenever I go down to this particular shop, there's a bookshop there, and I can't help but go in because I'm a book hauler as well. And I always want to go and see what new decks are there. Have I got them? Do I want them? Am I drawn? Da 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 da. And I went down there and I was like, no, I'm not going to go to the bookshop, but I heard go in, have a look. I was like, okay, I'm listening. I walked in and there were all these new decks, and I was like, what the fuck? This is crazy. There's all new decks. I got like a little kid in a fucking toy store,
Yeah,
right?
it's exciting.
I happened to pick up this one book, and normally, you know, when you buy a deck, you can turn the deck over and the back, and it's got a couple of pictures,
Mm.
so you can see what's in the deck, sort of thing. This one was different. It was just a book, and you could open it up, and it actually had the book inside. I was like, oh my god, I can see what the pictures are. I literally opened it up, and no word of a lie, it was the cards. And I remember
Oh,
thinking,
they found you.
they found me the very next day, and I was like, these cards.
Oh, ooh, manifested the shit out of those.
Ooh, I did. And
Yeah.
the accuracy of those readings just blows me away. Um,
Yeah.
actually, the story behind it is um, they're actually like gypsy cards. And Napoleon had a seer, and she used to use these cards. And the story in the book talks about how these cards were derived off the ones that were used back then. And I was like just blown away with how the readings are done with them. They're just awesome. But
Oh, that's ace.
have you got a deck that you utilize apart from the awesome ones that you created? Do you have
Oh,
a deck?
probably, yeah. The one that I use the most is the Power Tarot. Again, it's a tarot deck, but I don't use it as tarot. By Doreen Virtue and Radley Valentine. So Doreen Virtue obviously decided that all this stuff was shit and she didn't connect it anymore. But I don't give a fuck. I really like that deck. It just really resonates with me. If I'm going through some shit, that's always the one that jumps out. And if I do my 12-month card spread, that's the one that always I use every fucking year. And even though I ask the pendulum every year, going, is it a different one this year? No, it's always that deck. So other cards will other decks will be utilized here and there with that, but that's often my go-to. And I don't know why. I don't know. It just has the right messages at the right time. But I've bought decks before. I don't know, has anybody else done this where you've bought a deck and then you haven't used the fucking thing for a really long time? So I bought one once. I was so drawn to it. It felt so like, oh my God, I need that deck. Got it home, got the plastic off it, opened it up and went, oh, is that it? Like it was just, and I'd been using decks for a long, long time, and I opened it and went, fuck, this is not what I thought it was. This is not what why the fuck have I got this? And then probably, I don't know, probably 2 years later, it came up as needing to be used for a question I'd asked myself. And fuck me if it didn't give me the most accurate reading. Like I tried to use it before that, and I always would pick a card and go, "What the fuck does that mean? Why is this complicated?" But then there was actually that one moment, that one time, where it could not have been more perfect. So now when I feel like I need to get a deck of cards, even if I go, "Oh, I'm not really in love with this one," I just go, "Well, it feels right. I'm just going to fucking do it and wait for it to be the right moment because it will be at some point."
Yeah, I do that. I do that as well when it comes to selecting a deck because I stopped counting at 40.
Yes.
Um,
40
um,
something in there.
Yeah, and then when I know I've got a booked reading, or if I'm going on live to do read, I hear, oh, I might use this deck tonight. And there's been ones where out of the blue, I'm like just pulling out of the drawer and boom, got it. Okay, I haven't used this one for months, or I haven't actually even used this one, but okay, we're going to use it. And same
Mm.
thing. It's
Yeah,
just
exactly. The ones that are at the back where you go, oh, fuck, I forgot I had that one. Or the other thing I love that, yeah, people will, I'll be getting ready for a session, and I'll get like a flash of the color of the box, or I'll get a flash of an image that I remember is from that deck. And having it sounds ridiculous, but having that many decks, you forget which image goes with which deck. But there'll be something that they'll trigger in my brain to go, that's the fucking one. Don't fuck this up. So, I mean, I don't often use cards in my readings anymore, but there would if I need to, it will be very fucking clear which one.
Mm. And the other thing for me is you'll be shuffling and you see the card in your head and you're like, I know
Ooh, I
this
love that.
card, and then it's like boom. I was just literally thinking about that. And sometimes I actually say it out loud just so
Yeah.
it's clear. That's what I meant. I meant this.
Love that.
That's pretty
That's
cool.
nice. Excellent.
Well, I've absolutely had so much fucking fun tonight. Guys, if
Oh, yay.
you've got any comments, if you've got any questions, drop them in the comments and we're going to ask Lyndy. And then, did you want to use your, if you're open to, I can never remember the name of the other deck because I
Oh, the
still
crudies? Crude creatures?
yeah, because
These
the
ones?
guys see these ones all the time.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And I've got the fucking honest as well. So we'll just I've got them all laid out here. So if anybody has a question they want an answer with a card, I can do that. Or if they want to ask anything about intuition, about their intuition and want some information on that, pop whatever you want in the comments. I'm up for that.
so if we've got any questions about
Oh
what Lyndy,
my God, is that beautiful Anne? Is that it is my beautiful Anne. Hello, gorgeous. Mwah.
yeah, and Anne's amazing. Um, so if we've got questions about what Lyndy does or about anything like that, raised as a pagan.
Ooh. Oh, yeah, see, I think that would have fucked me up as well. I'm really, I think if you're raised, because being raised as an atheist, I think was just as damaging as being raised as a Christian. Like, I was absolutely pummeled into me. There is fucking nothing out there. When you're dead, blah, blah, blah. So when I was little and started to get bits and pieces coming through, I was like, well, I'm a little bit confused. Yeah, anything you're raised as is it's going to have a positive and potentially negative impact. So absolutely finding your way is the most important thing. But that would be really interesting, raised the pagan.
What's that say?
And and
If
Anne
you're
is a friend of
writing,
mine.
if
She's
you're
Anne
writing a
without an
book,
E for when I thank her in my book.
oh.
Smart ass.
Have we got any other questions, guys? Before we jump into
That's
the
okay if
read.
they don't. Let's do. I'll do you want the honest or do you want the crude creatures? I'll do a crude creatures card just as an overview for everybody and see what's coming up this week. Because big fat fucking full moon tomorrow, I think, isn't it?
Yes,
Let's
yes.
see what the theme of the full moon month is going to be. Oh, here we go.
About you guys, but there's been some big energies lately.
Yeah, there has. And some of it, some people are absolutely kicking gold all over the joint, and others are just crumbling. So don't judge yourself one way or the other on that. Just go with the flow and know that it all changes. You can go from awesome to even awesomer, or you can go from the pit to being completely fucking fabulous. So, just love yourself either way. Um, I love this. What an awesome excuse to go and lay down. A sloth, otherwise known as a tree hugging couch potato. Where's the book for that one? Let me read the book. Of course, you don't need to read the book, but I like the book because they were fucking funny. So it says, "Relax, you busy fucker." Sometimes you just need to fucking stop. That's important from time to time. Slow down. In fact, just fucking stop. You've been burning the candle at both ends for far too long now, and you've become a bizarre mix of gorgeousness and uselessness. You will turn your productivity levels back to the positive side of your energetic dial if you give yourself permission to rest properly and reset. Yes, yes, absolutely.
That one hit me in the kahunas just right then. Boom. Literally, 'cause it has been a bit like that. I'm not
Yeah,
gonna lie, it's been a bit like
and
that.
it's always a weird thing. Like I love getting to February because January, I don't know, particularly in Australia, January is a bit of a write-off because everyone's on school holidays. Not the school, not that I'm relevant with school holidays anymore. My kids are well and truly out of school, but the world doesn't really get running in Australia until the end of Jan and all the schools go back to and everybody goes back to work. So February is a bit of that launch period, but you don't have to immediately launch for the fucking sky. You can take a bit of a break. Confirmation burp, thank you. You can have a little reset and then really get clear about what the fuck you want and manifest the shit out of that and make it happen. Take the fucking action, I think is going to be the theme of this month. But you can rest
Boom.
before that. That's okay.
Boom. I love that. Absolutely. All
Exciting.
right. Have we got and so that was the crude creatures?
That was the Crude Creatures deck. That's this one, available on my website. So they're all available on my website. If anybody wants those, I ship all around the world, all around the country. They are all available. So
And do you still have the
that's where you get it.
socks?
I do have the socks. Yes, the socks are still available. Fucking love the socks. I wore them this morning when I went for a walk. It was lovely.
And what other services have you got? Have you got anything special coming up?
I've got a free ebook on the go at the moment. So if anybody wants the ebook, jump on my website and grab that. There's mentoring available. Fucking love mentoring. I love just launching people at their own pace, but without the fucking about and without the fluff, like actually getting them moving, not just with their intuition, but with their self confidence and with their business stuff, because I think you need all of it all at once to be able to have the confidence to step forward. So fucking love that. One on one sessions are available on my website as well. About it at the moment. I've got some in-person events coming up, but that won't be until probably mid-year. So, but I'm very excited about those because they'll be on the road. So I'll be going all around Australia doing those. So I'm excited about them.
Please let me know when you're in Sydney.
Yes, definitely will. Definitely will.
I'll come and see you.
Yes, it'll be ace. Be so nice to hug you. Oh my God.
I'll give really good hugs.
Oh, yay. Love that.
Anne's
Excellent.
got a question here. Can I
Yeah, go
ask
for it, Anne.
about what?
Work. Oh, Anne, they're saying head down, ass up. I feel like there's someone honestly being a little bit of a cunt and you just need to keep your head down and keep going. The work itself is okay. You will be all right. Just stay out of the bullshit. Stay out of the bullshit is the message. So I hope that makes sense for you.
Awesome. Have we got one more before we call it a night, guys? Anybody else have a question for Lyndy?
You're welcome, Anne.
I just went,
That's
did
fine.
you see how quiet it went then? Like even here, there's been such background noise, and then it just went. Now I
Yeah,
can
that's
hear
the
us
universe
talking.
going, time out. We're done.
Well, thank you again tonight,
Thank you
Lindy.
so much for inviting me on. I bloody loved it. I love having a chat with you. It's great.
I know it's always a vibe. And guys, if you want to hook up with some of these cards, you can head to Lindy's site. And if you're wanting to jump on and do you still doing readings,
Yes, online. Yes.
online readings, and
Yep.
the mentoring sessions as well? You can head
Yep.
to the link in your bio. Yeah.
Yes.
And
Yep.
you can
That works.
also tap and follow on Facebook and Instagram.
Yep.
Thank you again, guys, for tuning in to the Intuitive Hour. It's been an
Thank you,
amazing session,
everybody.
and we will see you next time. See you
Thank
guys.
you.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Bye, guys.